Hello everybody, welcome back. A real quick video about what is going on with Bitcoin. People are getting a little bit worried that we're hitting the top, and I'll tell you something now, there's no reason to be complacent at these levels, but I still think that we've got new all-time highs to make in the short term, alright? There's going to be some interesting moves, and I still believe that there's going to be a major alt season as well at some point this month into next month. But for the moment, what's happening here with these dumps, these significant dumps, is that people are massively leveraged and they're basically grabbing liquidity. This happened back here, this happened here. So what happens is people long, and a lot of Bitcoin's price is pushed up by not paper Bitcoin but leveraged Bitcoin. Sometimes it's not even Bitcoin, it's Tether. You know, it's margin trading, leverage trading. It's not really there. So a lot of this was actually inflated price. Isn't just people buying Bitcoins, even though a lot of it is that. So what we see here is this is only a 15-minute chart, a rise all the way up, big push up, and then what do we see there? A 9% drop. Again, same thing happened up here, pushed all the way up, trickled back down, and then I suppose when it lost momentum, what happened here? There was a 16% drop. This is just a 15-minute chart. This doesn't go back very long. This is all, you know, this last week or so. Again, pushing all the way back up, and what do we have? Another liquidity grab here, 8% drop. And what we have here, just now, is actually not as bad as that. All the way up to the top, liquidity grab, less than 10%. Now, when it comes to spotting a top in something that's gone parabolic, it's kind of difficult to do. But the simplest and most easiest way that I generally do this is with an indicator called the money flow index. So what we're looking at here, this is on the weekly. Bitcoin's top 2018, Bitcoin's top 2019. Bitcoin's top 2021. It's not obviously the top. We've got 12 months of a bull market left in us, but let's have a look at this money flow index. So a read of 96 here, a read of 96.5 here, and a read of 94.9. So we're getting ever closer to this significant top area on the weekly. So a lot of people look at the RSI. Yes, the RSI is high, but again, you know, we've been in these places, you know, and again, you know, this was 2020, this is 2019, this is 2021. We're higher now than we've ever been, but an RSI doesn't, there's no indicator that spots a top. There's no such thing. You know, if there was a perfect science to this, you know, everyone would be right all the time because they'd use that perfect science. There's not. There's just an interpretation of these indicators and how you go about using them. So what I would say is, for me, the money flow index is the better way to look at where a potential top is, and this works basically on every time frame. You know, if you're scalping, you can see when things are oversold or overbought, and you can generally get in and out of positions when you get, especially when it pops out the top. It works down at the bottom sometimes, but it's not very often you see something that hits out of the zone down here below the 20 zone. But it does happen, but it's not quite as reliable as spotting the absolute tops. So when we get to around 96, I would be very extremely cautious at those levels. That would be pretty much time to get out, and we're not quite there yet. Now we could be front run at any point, but given the fact that that we are in the midst of a bull run, we've got, like I say, 12 months left of this bull run to go. I still think that this could push higher, which sounds ridiculous, but I still think it does. But when it does reach its top, it will be likely a nasty correction. It might be a swinging, smashing crash down like this one saw, 50% down in a day. It could be more than that, but it probably won't be. It could be a little bit like this one. So we'll zoom in and have a look at what these candle bodies looks like, just to give you an idea, because not a lot of people might not have been around during these periods, so that this is all kind of quite new to them. So this was the top of the money flow index read. That was the weekly. Came crashing straight back down, 24% in a week. Pretty much I could say that was basically in a day, because I remember it, and then essentially correct after that. We will get a correction once that read is in, but because we are in a bull market, you know, I expect the correction to not last more than a couple of months. And to be honest with you, with the way that this is going, it might only be a few weeks, but it will be significant. It will certainly be significant. So that is my take on this. So like I say, it's definitely time to be cautious, but it's not time to be it's definitely time to manage your risk and be cautious. I still think there's a little higher to go. Now, when it comes to trading altcoins on this one, the Bitcoin dominance chart is in a strange situation. Now, what we're looking at here is we're looking at what used to be a channel that we were in. We've broken out of that, so now this downwards what used to be resistance is now support. You know, we've tested this now in a couple of days, 1, I suppose, 2, 3, and now we're moving up. So I think this is the area that we're going to be dancing within. This will be our support for the moment, and this will be our resistance for the moment, and this is the area to really get excited about getting into alts. This is the time, I suppose, to be thinking about get back into Bitcoin until this breaks. Now, at the moment, you know, dips are being bought, longs are still strong. We'll just have a little refresh to see what's going on here. Longs are still strong despite all this, and like I say, until we get that 96 read or higher, I imagine longs will continue to be strong. So when you get corrections like this, in my book, in my opinion, at this moment in time, and again, it's very deadly and dangerous to be doing anything really at these levels without extreme risk management, and I mean stop losses, appropriate entry points, things like that, because, you know, we may only have another, you know, 10% to go, 20% to go of Bitcoin before what could be a 24, 50%, maybe more percent correction. And these things can happen really fast, so you need to get your stop losses in. But when it comes to alts, if for whatever reason we lurk around this area and the Bitcoin dominance decides to come down and break down, then alts are going to be loving it. All right. So, like I say, it's just a bit of an update. Like I say, I don't think there's any reason to be particularly scared at the moment until we get that read. Obviously, when we go back to this Bitcoin chart on the 50-minute scale, you can see that it is now becoming very common to have these liquidity grabs of 10% or more, even just on the 15-minute chart. So yeah, we had another one there, another one there, another one here. So that's all they are. They're people taking profit on their longs. They're not particularly going short, but they're taking profit on their longs and then going back in again. That can only go on for so long, and until this basically actually has reached its top and has to come back down. But for the moment, I would probably say that despite it being very close to the top, it is it still does have a little bit more to go. If you imagine this like a game of Jenga, alright, imagine the best game of Jenga you've ever had, the most successful game of Jenga that you've ever had. There's probably still a few more moves left in that game, but it makes it harder and harder to play it. So that's how I look at this. This is like that. It's like a game of Jenga that's getting stacked higher and higher and higher. There's still some more moves left in that Jenga, but you know, it's getting harder and harder to play them, and it's only, you know, you're only one move away from knocking the entire tower down, and that's basically what's coming around the corner. But you know, everyone wants to win, and you want to win that game of Jenga, you have to play, otherwise you won't win. So like I say, you just have to be very careful. That's all I'm saying, just got to be very careful. Anyway, I'm going to leave it with you there, but as of today, I've started a Patreon account, so if you want to join that, there's a link below. On that Patreon, for the basic package, you'll get access to 2 live streams with me every week, where you can ask me to look at any chart that you want, any chart whatsoever. So long as I've got access to that chart, I'll have a look at it for you. There's no ads, there's no need to pay super chats or anything like that. Once you've paid your £7.50 monthly subscription, you can join any of those live chats and you can ask me anything you like. And they'll usually go on for a couple of hours, and that's twice a week, on a Wednesday and on a Friday. There is a more advanced package where you get a one-to-one consultation with me. You know, I'm at your beck and call, but there's only 10 of those spaces, and actually 2 have already gone, so there's only 8 left, and that is a bit more expensive. So have a look at the link below, have a look at that Patreon, and if you want to join, feel free to do it. I will be doing a live stream tomorrow for free, so if you want to set up a notification to join in on that live stream, you'll see what sort of thing that you'll be getting twice a week with your Patreon account. But this will be the last free live stream that I do, but you can feel free to join in on that one. That's available tomorrow at 8:30 Greenwich Mean Time, and then after that it's just for Patreon users. Obviously there's a lot more other things available in the Patreon for people who subscribe, but that's 2 of the biggest perks. That's where you get direct interaction with me on the live stream about anything you want. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a nice evening and take it easy.